Welcome to week 2 of Spring into AI, where we have to make a GitHub Copilot or Claude or Codex skill that can be used, so an AI skill. And this follows the open spec from, well, it's an open spec. And there's a website that explains all of it, but it just goes GitHub skills and then whatever you want to call it. So I made an Azure SQL Server DTU profiler. Let's say you're sitting at work, you're coding in your IDE, and then all of a sudden you get an alarm saying that some queries are taking longer than they should, or whatever, what have you. Azure does give a nice view where you can kind of investigate all that and look at queries, long-running queries, I think weights, but it's kind of cumbersome and there's a lot of clicking around, there's a lot of loading, and I thought, that'd be really nice if we could just bring this closer, more at fingertips. So that's kind of the idea here. And let's just give it a run, I guess. And then we can work at it from there. So really quick, the skill, the markdown file is right here. And we've got our env files. This is Contoso. This is not real. This is going to work off of a mocked up data set, but this is kind of what it looks at. So when I ask a question, it will load up any skills in this folder. It'll look nested, looking at nested, and it will look at the description, and then it will decide on whether it needs to use this or not. And if it does, it will read all this. That inflates our token. So what are we doing here? We're running all these SQL scripts. I guess I'll talk about it first. And I apologize. I have a cold, but we'll make it. So I kind of talked with ChatGPT about what kind of queries can we run to figure out performance and other metrics related against Azure SQL Server. And it gave me some of these queries, and I looked through them and I kind of sought to understand them. And it looks like through all these queries, I'll just quickly go through them, but it queries these runtime stats, intervals, resource stats, query stores, excuse me, execution plans, and even memory total spills. I don't have enough memory for this sort/hash. I'll dump it to a temp table. Those sorts of things. All sorts of metrics, CPU time, tracking things, let's say read writes, row counts, memory grants, etc. So all this stuff I didn't even know existed, but we can query it in a read-only fashion. So that's kind of what goes on here with this read-only stuff. So this PowerShell script aggregates all that together. It runs all these queries. It will use the read-only username and password. Make sure that your user only has read access, DB reader, and otherwise, if we don't have those set, it'll fall back to Azure CLI, AZ CLI enter ID. And so it runs all of these, it aggregates them, and it spits out a report, which in our skill, we ask the following. We say, please give us a pressure card that kind of looks like this. Default, or let's see. Oh yeah. Show us the top offenders and then highlight and recommendations, which is really nice because Azure for SQL Server, it will also, my words, you can enable automatic tuning, which it will look and see what queries are suffering from lots and lots of scans because there's no index. So it'll automatically put an index in there. And what's interesting is in my usage of this, I found that this would find those opportunities before Azure would ever mention it. So with that said, let's just give it a run. Uh, DTUs are in trouble. Please pull check the last 3 hours. Provide top three offenders. We've got it here. Azure SQL DTU pressure report. We've got our database, our server, the Windows edition that it is. And we've got the top three query offenders here with our demo database. And then what's really nice is that it'll show us total executions. Where does it do that? I just said that it did. No, I don't see it. Oh, right, yeah, up here. Execution, CPU, duration, etc. And then highlights and recommendations. So this is really nice. It will do like a traffic light pattern here and show you what's low, medium, high, and then how to fix them. So this one wants a covering index, and these aren't exact SQL queries that it's giving to us, but we can go then research it and see, okay, yeah, this is true. We do need an index here, and it needs to include these fields in there. And then we can work from there and then run them and patch and profit from a smoothly running database. So it's very helpful and I'm enjoying it. It does not always spit out the same sentiment. If I ran this again, it might say different things here and it might say different things here. It will, I mean, it'll still find the same queries that it found previously. So if I run it again, it'll still say, hey, this is still high, this is still medium, this is still number one, this is still rates. Actually, I don't know what these numbers are. Why does this say 1, 3, 2, 3? That might be a bug, but anyway, it's nice to have it here quick and it shows us the information that we need so that we can take quick action on it. So, all right. Thanks for watching.